from the lucid fringe. Ravings from the lucid fringe. Musings from an unpasteurized life. Improvised on the front line of love and beauty. Welcome, I'm Semeric Yarrow. This week on Ravings from the Lucid Fringe, episode 49, 7 times 7. Poems of place, people, moments. Memories from the deep to the recent past. So these are poetic memories, in a sense, memoirs. The first is called Wymondham and relates to the music camps I went on in the 1980s and early 90s. It was a time of pilgrimage and passion beneath the corrugated roofs of half-moon rehearsal rooms. We pounded out the brassy tones of Bernstein or Shostakovich, while the Cold War crunched to a close, and boys flicked peas to start the game, and girls knew that more than music was at stake in those rough and rude and occasionally cruel teenage times, where many whoops and yells rang out across the courtyards between the hormone-hungry segregated dormitories, and amidst the judgment calls we fought our way towards humanity, channeling, if we but knew it, the siren calls of spirit with every diaphragm deep breath. Bonnyrigg, Cape Town, 2005. Bonnyrigg was the name of the plot that we bought and built our family home on. And it once belonged, it turns out, to Cecil Rhodes. And on this square of earth, once marked out for yet another ruddy ruler's cottage by the sea, we find long-choked bottles, imperial pints and cistern ceramics, artifacts of nicety and seeds of hardy heathers, geraniums that thrive in spite of decadent decades of dogs. We build a fire, smoke out the ghosts who plotted out this square, tickle them with ash, taunt them with sober chanting, take an owl's wing and howl with it, rustling the hidden whispers into potent locations and vibrant pens. The southeaster punts its easy song of sleep. Prickle pushes factory sins out to sea. Dusts, flowers, and cats as it passes. And rain? Here in the promised land of diamond dukes, the sky withholds such jewels, remains as yet uncommitted to the new tenants. So our new earth will first flourish with a hosepipe monsoon. My last trip to Britain, but one, was in 2009, so returning is archaeological. Returning to Britain is archaeological, sifting through multimedia detritus, reaching beneath the squash and cramping of the south of this small island, a cramping that keeps us visitors fretful of the need to nurture children into broad landscapes of imagination, a reaching for layers which touch and spark and speak of the mysteries that swirl here too. In chill winds on Devon moors there is a faint signal twixt the stones that mark the lays, and stronger ones in the mulching boggy boots of little boys and girls forging friendships, where the season of frost and holly and the silence of snowflakes after hail awakens, even here, a way to touch the earth with laughter, and to lift all our spirits in the manner of living spires. Heidelberg at decade's end. A faint white sprinkle high above the town covers forgotten autumn thoughts. Its egalitarian whispers soften the turrets of old cloisters, but also rude circus steps of the last Reich, carved, starched on the spirit corpses of wild wolf packs, where now only mongrel paws pad and sniff. And here, where once Celtic tribes built ramparts, we interlopers talk fresh and find heart smiles, and my father friend shows me more well-beloved paths, rich with moss. Below, the fairy tale trees rumble with raindrops as the year ends. Wanderlusty crackle lights cascade in bubbles over the castle's well-worn tragic love story, and over the broad old red stone bridge where newlyweds send lanterns high on elusive eddies. One of Europe's minor rivers saunters past, wetter and wider and busier with cargo boxes than anything in our raw land. LP memories bring toe tickles to little girls on parade, warming up a grand apartment lounge, while chestnut walks on cobble loaves are christened by the sound of bells and the tastes of Morocco in lush, studious streets. Over all there flows a sense of a new country emerging beyond those old mind borders, connected to the world with proud naivety, unfettered by its relics, tentatively re-rooting in the earth. Here, I meet you again on almost neutral ground, tasting Swiss cheeses and French croissants and German organic vegetarian salamis, wishing perhaps for a wiggle step or two, but enjoying trams that work like clocks and changing rooms that don't cater for prudes. Right here, there's still space for brown squirrels and songbirds. Right here, wolves could howl again at sparkling rockets bathing the skies. Right here, our travel needs pause. Baton high, paintbrush poised, shutters flapping in the breeze, and the night giggles, breathing in the comic organ pipes of peace. But it was snowing back in England. Prodigal precipitation. Falling flakes utter silent hymns of whiteness, and amidst the fraughtness of icebergs in traffic, peace is offered to the townsfolk. Buses and vans surrender to a stop. Birdsong dots across the frost fingers, hugging frozen backyard canals. Here, beyond the mobile calls, acknowledging the temporary change of pace, and fretful parents and warm, smiling cafes and elegant, empty churches, there rises a quiet humming of guildsmen, fossil tunes from old stone walls, overtones of soft hammering tongues. Soon these bold ancestral acorns hide again beneath the snow, within hearts that beat once more to central heating and forget with the sludge of the week. Still, in years to come, oaks will bear fresh flakes upon their branches and sing true. Sliding in Bristol. Here, on Epiphany, the best of British then, Isambard Kingdom, what a name, and the everyday grandeur of Temple Meads and the taut brilliance of the high bridge across the gorge. It creeps up, unexpectedly, beyond the great western houses of former Bristol slavers and the genteel grass of the downs, spoken no doubt in a better BBC than Attenborough's, and then there it is, a view to clear the mind, these days accompanied by disclaimer notices and polemical Samaritan phone lines. Down to mud and murky water, past crags and crevices galore, the kids slip down the rock slide, little guessing at the delights to come. For on our return, weeks later, we are used to this marvellous white powder that freezes our fingers and can sculpt dogs, and dinosaurs, and doughnuts, and dowager aunts, and in which we can join the multitude, light at heart, in skimming down. And so back to South Africa, and the rest I will let speak for themselves. Marina da Gama. No bells ring in this cloistered suburb. Whitewashed walls tempt at sunset with just a hint of Greek island oil, but without those messy washing lines and scooters, and through its idle canals scream no pungent deranged artists, but soft-serve gondolas and soothing triple ducks. It is a sprinkler haven, squirting heavenly mildew, while disapproving distant peaks turn pink again at the notion that this, too, is Africa. The last perfect page of sorrow. This is the last perfect page of sorrow. The flags are down. The ash is in the urn. The skeleton lies relieved in earth. We is buried now. No more jaw-dropped, bowled-over, overwhelmed dawns. Fight, flight in my legs in a horizon chase. You soaring to my eyes, but held in truth astride an unseen silver mare, while my royal vehicle always trotted alongside me, always waiting for my command, always waiting. No more public show regattas, bearing a jewel-encrusted skin while our hearts splintered silently. In this time of rotting, cracking, splitting, tilling, there is a sowing going down, a peaceful remembering and blessing, a howling of tears and a cherishing of smiles, an awe-filled thanking for the loving, and the map of ages rises to my eyes, dispelling inner tyrants wedded to their place, instead turning, curling, learning, surprising. And as I pass you again on the labyrinth's bends, I find the will to step aboard and gently grasp my lion's mane, even before I feel it, the will to serve myself and thus the world, the will to water roots for weeks and mundane months until I know the laughing dainty roar is mine, and the wheel has turned to face the worm's work in all its grace. There I'll lift an inky feather and scratch anew. Sonnet. We sit and share till the message beds down. The varnished floors show the grooves of the years, and frog calls echo worlds beyond the bars, while water runs smoothly, flushing out fears. A peace is felt from sirens and buzzing pain. A spirit rises, joining all in love's work, though fractured voices call a distant rain, and winds remind that haunted souls still lurk. If now we pluck the fruits before they swell, the blessing of the earth might fail once more. But I will water soul soil fresh and moist, till clear and anguished voices can't be ignored. There, on the tarmac paved with icy guns, we'll dance our spells and melt into the sun. A feisty, forest-born ferment. As the summer unpeels our ancient songs, we meet beyond our solo tangos, sifting the moist and tangy flour of our well-ground souls. Pounded with precious private incantations, we flow towards the dolphin-birthing currents of our ripening ocean. And amidst our soft melodies of bubbling recognition, I touched the spicy stories of your future-forming body spells. I feel your listening blissful fingers shake awake my bass lines until the bluebirds migrate to mouth-watering paradises, while the winking spirits of this cosmic kitchen mix us into a startlingly magnetized love adventure. Frog Mountain in September. The bendy thwack of a pool noodle against a laughing girl's legs, the crack of a small stone upon a smaller macadamia shell, the ping and the pong of a ball against high wood beams above the table, the swoosh of an oar through a flowing current, a house full of giggling gentle girls and demanding polite boys and adults seeking peace, which only comes at mealtime munching and bedtime stories and late-night hot tubs. Still, we clamber up cascades past jasmine fragrance and the dangling tree-top debris of last week's flood. We dive into icy pools and help children find pebble treasures, and final attempts at stolen moments turn into high-energy river escapades, until at last we pack the car and settle once more into the quiet beauty of the passes and the breath of eagles. Scarborough Autumn. The feel of their leaves, crushed, sniffed on a hike again, and sensing the languages of the land. This one, accompanied by thick sandfelt and yellow flowers that insist while hiding sweet unsuspected berries, a little like you, who I recall while staring at this screen once more in lively thought of whys and wherefores that mean little against the chirping of birds whose names you'd know. To me, they proved a carpet telling stories of mages, whereas you noticed the humble thread we walk on, barefoot now and present, to the wild crashing of the white mains. Transkei Threads. A steep sheep hill salty threatens to throw us off the scent. Flowers and dung fungus, then spider paths stick cleared, rocks and blisters and deep breaths, while horser cattle boys chew grass. The tyranny of the mapped path, and the mud within the forest tufts. Chattering green locusts race towards their latest turf. We find love amidst the mists, and chatter too through our skins. This was a summer of late harvest discovery, beyond the tempting swells of chestnut Plettenberg sands, and the skin-kissing winds of untouched dunes. Our waywardness kept safe by the watching spirits of local ceremony. Another day, another wander past solar-panelled rondavels, over grasslands, past chickens and goats and only occasional mealies, landing in perception of the need for land wisdom to return, here where the potholes breed and time is still bottle-throttled, and estuaries pour out plastic from Idatiwa and Butterworth, and men drink courts and parade phantom power, and children call for sweets, and our hearts also grieve. And some white men build castles for their queens, while nausea turns to a battling against nature's unexpected tricks and tides. In all this, we find our ways to puzzle piece our beings, finding almost secret places at which to drink each other's fountains, and giggle with the beach soccer teams, and feel the undergrowth beneath yielding hammocks, where we nuzzle like young butterflies and soothe each other's preoccupation prickles, and spot mlungus doing yoga in the sunshine, and topless local girls sunbathing on traditional beaches. And I feel your earnest, gentle pressure to press on in this life we share, and in our dreams of finding solutions and permacultured kitchens and ways through the soft subtropical walls dividing us from this hive of life. I feel your peachy energy pulsing in these many daily footsteps which we take towards crystallizing experiences and strangers' lapcats and hardwood harmonies, sung from the contours of these rivered lands, where culture can be heart-grown again, resisting the bleaching, bleeding forces of the cities, like muscles clinging fast and true to black and pockmarked rocks. So, thank you for listening to this latest episode in the series, and you can find all of my articles and my recordings at lucidfringe.substack.com, except my music and poetry from the past, which is all available at simrickyarrow, all one word, .bandcamp.com, and the background recordings and sounds that you will have heard are all either from those recordings or they are my own. Please do give this a rating if it's on your podcast app. Please spread the word if you enjoy what you hear. And if you want to give me some feedback or commentary, of course, I'm very open to that. Any suggestions for future episodes? Okay, enjoy. See you next time. Ravings from the lucid fringe. Ravings from the lucid fringe. Musings from an unpasteurized life. Improvised on the front line of love and